Hello and welcome to Raising Ronies. I am doing a video to go along with Crazy Days. My mom had invited me to this collaboration. It was last minute last night. She asked me if I had it done and I had forgotten. So I'm gonna throw something together, and I think because I'm one of these, I'll try anything or do anything. I already know about tractors and doing a lot of stuff like that. That's not out of my comfort zone, and I really don't have a lot that's out of my comfort zone around here for me to do. I'm going to do a few things that I think may help women that would probably need to know or does need to know, and stick to the end of the video and I explain you why and how I know that they will. My baby. Hello. I think her battery died. My video is going to touch on a few things that I was blessed to learn as I was growing up. My mom and dad taught me how to do things, and you don't have to be a woman to know these, and you don't have to be a girl. It's good to teach your girls and boys how to do this, because there's actually some men that don't know some of these things. So teach your children while they're young, your grandkids, anything like that. If you have friends, whatever you're doing, show them how to do it. It's good to have knowledge and skills. And if you don't have a family member like a mom or dad, grandparent, grandmother, somebody like that to teach you, hello Googie. Googie's got to get in my videos. Well, I'm back. Between the children and the dogs and everything else, I had to find somewhere else I could go. So I think, as I was saying, the best knowledge and skills, or somewhere to learn your knowledge and skills, is YouTube videos. I have learned all kinds of things from YouTube. I have changed out a lock cylinder, and that's where, when you have your steering wheel here and your keys and you turn it and the key won't lock, twist and turn it on and it jams up in there, you need a new one. I YouTube what model the car was. I think it was a 2000 or 2002 Dodge Neon. I watched the video, went out there, done a few little things like it said, marked that part, went back and watched the video, and then come back, changed it out. No problems, run fine. If you don't want to just watch videos, books are a very good way. There's books on anything. You can learn out of a book. And if you don't want to buy the book, you can do them on Kindle or Amazon or something like that. And if you don't want to do that and you don't want to buy them, go to the library. Your local library has tons of books, from anywhere from gardening to home maintenance, cooking. I mean, they have books on everything. And if they do not have it, ask them. They may have it and it may be checked out. Or if it's something newer, ask them. Lots of times they can order them and get them in, and then you just check it out. And some of the things I'd wrote down that I think is very good to know is home maintenance. And in home maintenance, I'm going to do one to show you the breaker box, because a lot of people does not realize what that'll do and how to fix it or anything like that. And why call an electrician that's going to cost you a fortune? Do it yourself. Do you know what this is? It would be good to know where you have one in your house, because you may have to reset it one day. The breaker box normally would have labeled each room that they are and what they do. So let's say in the kitchen, some of the lights went out. Well, maybe I have plugged in an appliance or something and I have the microwave going or something. Sometimes that'll throw a breaker. So here's the kitchen. Okay, that's off, which the kids may kind of get upset and wonder what happened in there. But that's off. So that means if I went in there right now, there is nothing going to work in my kitchen, because there's two breakers and that's going to do the whole area. So when you see that's off, the rest of these are on, and if I was in the kitchen and my breaker threw, with that being off, you just flip it on. The kitchen is on and ready to go again. And that's with anything else. You got your heating range, your dryer, your washer. Not all of them's labeled exactly. You may have to play with them, but usually if any of these are not on over here or not on over here, flip them to on. And that will cure your problem. And this is good to know. The way I was raised, I already knew this. It didn't dawn on me until after I started managing the rental units that not everybody knows what these breaker boxes are, where they are, and what they do. I had a tenant a couple of years ago call me panicking that her TV and some of her lights wasn't working. I'm like, okay, well, did you pay your power bill? She's like, yes, ma'am. So I said, give me a minute and I'll run by. I went through and she's like, it's just this side of the house. And it was a single wide mobile home. So I automatically realized the breakers went off, because usually the breakers do one half of a mobile home and the other do the half. I asked her where a breaker box was. She's like, what's that? I'm like, you gotta flip the breakers. And she just looked at me all puzzled. And I mean, this is a grown woman with a child that was like 3 or 4 years old. She had no idea what I was talking about. We went up and down in each room trying to find it. I knew it should have been either in the laundry room or the closest room near it, which would have been the master bedroom. And I was overlooking it because when we opened the door, it was behind the master bedroom door. Finally found it. So I showed her how to do this, which one was flipped, and showed her. Sometimes they're kind of halfway in the middle, so that means it's flipped. And if it's halfway in the middle, switch it off and then back on. But I showed her how to do that. It come back on and she's like, oh wow, I've never known anything like that. I've never had that problem. I didn't know. It's amazing what you take for granted that I learned as a young child that I have known as long as I can remember. And here's a grown woman with a child that has never encountered this. If your toilet is overflowing or something's not going down, and don't think this is petty here, because I've actually went to a mobile home not too long ago. Somebody just moved in and said it wasn't working, and I took my own plunger. We always keep a whole set of tools on the back of Brian's truck. Went over there and I looked at it and I said, have you plunged it? She said, no. So I ran out there and got a plunger, and because she didn't even have a plunger. And she's like, oh, I feel so bad. I should have known about that, or should have tried that. So know how to plunge the toilet and make sure, because something may have not went down right and may not be flowing. It could be something minor. Say basic self-defense. A lot of stuff I'm just saying basic, because a lot of things you don't have to know a lot about, but you do need to know some. And self-defense isn't I know how to fight or something. I usually try to avoid any confrontations, but I do carry. I usually have a weapon with me, or I do have a pow-pow with me. I may have to say that way, because I don't know, YouTube's kind of funny about some of the ways you put stuff, and I don't want to get this knocked off or anything. And it's not, you don't have to advertise that you do or don't have one with you, or in your home, or in your car, or anything else. Don't let anybody know, because if they may think you have one and you don't believe in having them. That's fine. Let them be kind of like, ooh, I better not mess with them. But I do at the house, because what if somebody was to come in and would be messing with my children or hurting them or abusing? That would be the last time that they would. Or if they was out on me, I'll get them off. They will not mess with me but that one time. I don't believe in fighting and stuff like that, but when it comes down to my children and my life, I will take care of us. So it's good to have a plan on self-defense and stuff like that. And not only that, it is like taking care of yourself at the home. Like if there's a fire, how are you going to take care of yourself? Have you a plan on whichever area that it starts to be able to get out? What if it started in the kitchen? How am I going to get out? What if it's in one of the bedrooms? How am I going to get my children out, or whoever it is that's in the home with you? Teach them that plan. We used to we would set our alarm off and tell them to go out the front door and meet us at the mailbox. Always have a place to meet, because that way when you get there and everybody's there, we're a big family. So here we don't have to go all the way to the mailbox, but when we was living in our old homestead, we would run out to there. to the mailbox. And it was good to know that when you count everybody up and that's where they are. If they're not, we know who we need to look for. Have a safe meeting place. Use a lawnmower. I've got some videos on lawnmowers here and there. Usually I'm mowing somewhere. One of them's an overgrown grass I mowed. There's several on my channel if you want to see me use a zero turn. I'm not exactly telling you how to use it. I've just used it. I've been mowing forever, probably since I was 6 on a regular riding lawnmower. And as soon as we started coming out with zero turns, that's what I used. But I have a lot of yard to mow. So there is some videos on there if you want to see zero turn riding. One of them's even a demonstration video of a big dog that we have, so it was showing how well it cut. I do have videos on me hooking up a disc, I think it was, because I have grown up being able to disc, bush hog, and all that kind of fun stuff, but I never took the time to learn how to hook them up, and that's the key there. If you live on a homestead, you probably know how to use all that, but probably your husband or your dad or somebody else, they've always hooked it up for you. So I started watching my husband, like, okay, now how do you do that and stuff? Well, one day when he was at home, and I knew I needed to get that disc before it rained, I was going to go over there. We have a smaller tractor. Well, it says quick hitch. Thought it meant quick. Well, what it meant, you can hook up a quick hitch where it does like Mom and Danny's. You can just pop them things in and out, and I mean, keep going, and you never takes you 5 minutes to get it done. Oh no, it don't have the quick hitch on it. It is made for one. I worked on that thing. My hands was bleeding black and blue. I had grease all over me. I was hot, sweaty, frustrated, and I done a video. I didn't do all of it. I had some of it cut out because I would just kind of sit there and like, what do I do now? So when I called Brian, he's like, that's not a quick hitch. I said, what says quick hitch? He said, no, it's made for one. So he told me to go get the bigger tractor and that it was easier. It doesn't have a quick hitch, but it was easier. So that's what I done. And it kind of tells a little bit about, you know, it's good to learn and do things so you can do stuff yourself and not have to depend on somebody else, or if they're sick or if they pass away or anything else like that. You never know what is going to come in the future. So I did show that my second attempt on the second tractor, I did do it, and I showed a little bit of bush hogging. I mean, not bush hogging. I showed a little bit of discing with it. I think there's also a couple more where I've bush hogged discs, called bush hogging lawnmower or something. I mean, I'm not one to just do a lot. My channel's kind of all over the place. There's probably something for everybody. Okay, I was going to say about when it goes back to the home maintenance, power tools is good to know. I always used a lot of just screwdriver stuff, but the best thing that comes in handy is a power drill. When you have a power drill, that makes whatever you're doing, no matter if it's in the kitchen, from the laundry room to outside to the apartments or rental units, whatever I'm doing inside or out. I mean, even putting these raised beds together, we screwed the screws in. It's good to have a screw gun and do it because it makes your life so much easier. Saws are good to have because like when we done the beds and stuff like that, they're not bad. Just be cautious and take your time and use them. If not, find you a YouTube and they can give you some step-by-steps on how to do stuff. I done custom drapes and bedding. I had to do a lot of measuring. So it's good to know how to read a tape measure. Inches, half inch, quarter, 5/8, 3/8, learn. If you don't have one or know how to learn, go to Lowe's or Home Depot or somewhere, even Amazon. They have the easy read. They actually say the 1, 2, 3, 4, and they say when they get to the feet. They also have, if they're a 1/4 inch, half inch, 3/4, 3/8, 5/8, it'll say that on there. Use that until you memorize how. And if you don't, just use it. That way you can give somebody your own measurements and you know you measured correctly. It was so bad when I'd have decorators come in there want me to make something, and I would ask about the measurements, and they was like, we didn't know how to measure. So we'd have to send the draper installer out there to measure, or either one of us had to take the time. So it's good to measure, and especially on a homestead. I mean, what if you want to build a chicken coop or raise beds or anything? Measuring is a very good thing to know how to do. And survival skills does not mean you have to be on a survival show. Kind of think about the situation and don't just jump into it, because a survival situation could be you get on the road and get stranded somewhere and you have no food, no drink, and you need to change a tire. What are you gonna do? Are you just gonna wait for somebody? You may be in a bad area. Like when I go to my mom's and Danny's, there is no service. If I break down, I'm broke down and nobody knows where I'm at. I try to be prepared that I've got extra food and drinks and just different things. And I know how to change a tire if I have to. No minor stuff, but be able to assess the situation. You may be on vacation a few days away. What if you have to stay overnight somewhere? Just try to think about it and be able to take care of yourself. Also, with the times it's hard to get food and stuff like that, it's good to learn how to grow a garden. And it doesn't have to be a big one. If you live in the city or wherever, or even if you live in the country, start out with some 5-gallon buckets. You can get them anywhere. Lowe's, Home Depot, pretty much anywhere has buckets. Buy one here and there and plant a tomato in this one and plant zucchini in that one. Just especially whatever you like, and learn. And trial and error, you'll learn. And you may have some family or friends that can help you. If you can do a raised bed, do a raised bed. I saw a neighbor had a raised bed. They took, I guess Lowe's or Home Depot now has the blocks. They're corner blocks, and they only had them on 4 corners. It was longer, like a raised bed, and narrow. Well, they put the blocks 3 tall on each corner, and they had boards that slid down. It had grooves only on the left and right side of the stones. So the board would just slide in here, and then when you had one on this end, it slid down, and you bought the boards the same height as the stones, which looked like they was about 6 inches. So it's about 18 inches tall. That's good. You want 12 to 15 inches tall, and it may not have been quite 18 inches because the boards aren't quite as tall. But anyway, so they took and did 3 high, slid the 3 boards in here, each side, and it was about 8 foot long and about, I don't know, 2 or 3 foot wide. And if you can't cut those 2 or 3 foot, however wide you want it, while you're at the store, ask them. They can go ahead and cut those if you want it 2 foot wide, 3 foot wide, and have them cut them. So when you get home, you stack up those 12 blocks, 3 in each corner, have enough boards, 3 on this side, 3 on each end, and 3 over here. So if you want an 8 foot, buy 8 foot boards and slide them in there. And then however wide you want it, have them cut them and you slid them in. So when you get home, you've got a raised bed. Then the hardest part is filling it up with dirt. This is one of the most overlooked things. My husband owns an automotive repair shop. And when it comes to your vehicle, he has the most people that comes in there and says, my car just won't crank, or is making a bad noise, sounds like it's about to die, it's clonk, 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 and all this. And before he pulls the vehicle in, what does he do? He pops the hood and checks the oil. So, let's pop the hood. Well, I gotta unlock it first. Let me flip you around. And it's always up under here. Normally it'll say hood latch if it's older, but mine actually shows the little hood. Pull it like that. I'm gonna try to do this one-handed because I don't have a person. Okay, you see where the front is? It's somewhere up under here. You usually see that right there? That's the hood latch. I can actually do it with one hand there. Okay, we have popped the hood. So if you can pop the hood, that's the number one thing to get to your oil. Okay, look for a yellow dipstick right here. So let me get my paper towel. I got my paper towel. Here's the yellow dipstick. And we have got to look at it. It is full. You see that? You wipe it off. So we're going to put it back down in there and do it one more time. And you just lower it down. And then we're going to look at it one more time just to make sure, which I know it is, but I didn't think we could see it very well. And also, that means your oil's good. You can barely see it. It's very clear looking. If it's really, really dark, that means you have went over your mileage and you need to get an oil change. That's the number one thing to maintenance on your vehicle, the life of your vehicle. The life of your vehicle is the engine oil. And if it's dark and black and you went over 3,000 miles, a lot of them do, I think now they do 8,000 and 10,000. My husband will say you can go 3,000 to 5,000. But always check it. If you see that it's really, really dark, don't wait till then because they want to sell you another vehicle. So 3,000 to 5,000 miles, go have it changed or you'll be buying a new vehicle. I hope this video helps. I kind of left you hanging up there. But the reason I know that these things are good to know, even though a lot of homesteaders may know these, country people may know these, there may be a lot of people that do not know this stuff, but you need to know it. If you don't know it, be trying to learn. I was married and my husband passed away, so I was all alone, and I'm not one of these to run to my mom and daddy. They didn't have to buy me things. I bought my first car, well, all of my cars. If I need them, they're there, but I don't call. If I call, it's to actually talk to them. If I needed something done, I done it. And if I didn't know how to do it, I done it myself. And another way, I forgot to tell you, another way you can do it if you can't find a YouTube video, or if you don't find a book, is trial and error. Just jump out there and do it. You'll either succeed, sink or swim. And if you sink, try again. It's not gonna hurt. Keep on. Practice makes perfect. I hope you try to step out of your comfort zone. And it can be anything from driving tractors, changing implements, bush hogging and stuff. And if you already do that, if it's home maintenance, car maintenance, airing up tires, changing flats, I don't know, there's so much stuff out there that you need to know. Even the breakers. I mean, I thought that was kind of crazy. I thought everybody knew that. And I've run into so many people that don't know a lot of stuff being in a mobile home manager. Never take for granted what you know. You may know a lot more than the others. And if you have the chance, share your knowledge and your skills with others. I want to thank those that are in the collaboration. And thank my mom for inviting me to it. And I hope y'all have a blessed day from Raising Rummies.